Welcome to the Personal Foul Podcast. I am your host, Colton Gesser. Alongside me is my co-host, per usual. That would be Phil Sitta. Phil, how the hell are you?
I'm fine, but our fans are quite miffed, especially at you.
Why is that? Tell me why, Phil.
Well, we were supposed to have a show yesterday, but no. You had to go off and gallivant and do whatever the hell you think you should be doing instead of taking care of our fans. Our fans are number one, damn it. We should be taking care of them. People want to see me, the genius.
Phil, I told
mean,
you.
I get it. You're like, I don't have fans, whatever. I can do whatever I
I
want.
told you yesterday we could do the show later. I told you yesterday we could do the show later. So I don't know what to tell you. You all of a sudden couldn't go last night at 8:30. So I don't know what to tell you. So we have to do it today.
That's fine. We're doing it. That's all that matters. My fans get to see my pretty face.
Yeah. All right, Phil. Anyway, let's start off around the diamond. We got MLB postseason full swing. Again, ALCS, NLCS going on. Game 3 starts tonight for the Dodgers and the New York Metropolitans. What are your thoughts on the NLCS so far with the Mets taking care of a big, huge Game 2 win?
It was a nice win for them. They bounced back. They did what they had to do. They got a split in LA. I'm more concerned about tonight with the Dodgers, believe it or not, because why the hell is Buehler taking the mound? Where's Yamamoto? I don't understand why you spent $300 million on this guy and he hasn't pitched a game yet, and you're not pitching him in Game 3. You're putting Walker Buehler, who's got an ERA of 400. I don't understand that at all. But that's Dave Roberts for you. He's a complete moron. I hate to see the Mets win this game. The only salvation I think the Mets have is that Severino stinks in cold weather. So it's a toss-up game. It's anybody's game. I still think this series is going to go 7, and the Mets fans will have their heart broken, which is all I really care about.
Yeah, again, you like pissing on the Mets. I'm hoping it doesn't come back and bite us as Yankee fans because Mr. Negative Nancy, as far as the Mets go. It's impressive what the Mets are doing. They're the hottest team in baseball coming into the postseason. What they're doing is special. I mean, no shock about it. The 32-year-old, as you like to call Mark Vientos, what he's done is absolutely incredible this postseason. Fraud. Sorry, he's been really good. And our GoFundMe continues for John Mayer to get his Mark Vientos jersey. But again, he's been very good. Again, you were way wrong. The genius was wrong, as you called him 32 years old, as he's a damn rookie in baseball. So
I meant 23. I got the numbers mixed up. Relax.
Yeah, congratulations to you on that one. But yeah, big shout out to Mark Vientos and what he's doing.
The hell with Mark Vientos, okay? This guy's done nothing, and all of a sudden he's all world. Come on, I don't want to hear anymore from Vientos. And where was he in Game 1 in a big spot? He choked, folded like a lawn chair, as you like to say.
Relax. Folded like a lawn chair. Yeah, Aaron Judge until last night. We'll get to him in a minute. But geez Louise. What Mark Vientos has done a lot more in the postseason than Aaron Judge. Let's be serious there.
He has, but a lot of people have done a lot more than Aaron Judge in the postseason until last night. Look, I said this way back a few weeks ago. The Mets are a team of destiny. They snuck in on the last day. They have no business being in the playoffs. They have had an extreme amount of luck. I've had to hear from these idiot Met fans, oh, we swept the Yankees in 4 games this season. First time the Mets have ever accomplished anything in their lives. And the Mets act like they've been, world beaters for decades, like the Yankees. But I'm tired of the Met fans. I'm tired of the Mets. I just want this nightmare to end. It's not that I want to see the Dodgers either, but the Dodgers have no bullpen whatsoever. So I'd rather face them than the Mets. I can't deal with another Subway Series. And let's go to the Yankees on that note. And I've said this all week. The Yankees are going to sweep. They will continue to sweep. This series will be over Friday night. I don't care what the hell anybody says. Jose Ramirez, you talk about someone who's folded like a lawn chair in the playoffs. This guy has as well. He's done absolutely nothing. Big spot after big spot, he comes up, and the Yankees have shut him down. I don't care what he did against Detroit. Detroit's another team that shouldn't have been in the playoffs. But as for Cleveland, bye-bye. I already have you written off. I got the broom halfway out the door ready to sweep your asses back to Cleveland where you belong.
Oh, Phil, I hope this doesn't come back and turn into a meme. I really don't. But yeah, this team looks really good. And big shout out to Aaron Judge. Finally get the monkey off his back last night with a big home run, which was definitely needed. By the way, big shout out to a guy that I thought was played really, really well before I get into my favorite player on this team, actually. And that would be one, Anthony Volpe. I got to tell you, I'm very impressed so far with his postseason. Again, not a ton of hits, but he's hitting the ball really well. His approach at the plate, it looks like a veteran. Big shout out to Anthony Volpe. I've loved what he's done. I know he's kind of taken a lot of heat this season, especially the big year two leap. And again, he was all reliable there at shortstop. So big shout out to Anthony Volpe.
Volpe's going to be there for the next 10 years without question. I mean, he won the game last night with that heads-up base running play. I mean, you got to realize 2 runners got thrown out of second base, but in between, he scores the winning run. And Boone has never fixed his base running problem. This has been an ongoing issue for years. I mean, I don't know how many times runners get thrown out at home when they should be staying at third base or getting picked off on these bases. Boone has never addressed this. And thankfully, it has not come back to bite him in the ass in the playoffs yet. It may if this continues, because the Yankees just, I don't know, it's like they got cement feet when they get a big lead out there. They don't know how to get back to the bag. It's unreal how they don't take the extra bag when they take it. I know. I'm talking about Boone. Boone aggravates the hell out of me. I can't stand him. I think he's the worst manager of all time.
Get that wiener out of your mouth, Phil. Jeez, I can't get it out. Yes, we know Boone.
Oh, we're gonna do sexual orientation jokes now, are we?
You leave the door open.
That's what we gotta do.
Over there choking over there. That's fine.
I get aggravated.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hear you. The great John Sterling said it best yesterday, and he said the team runs the bases like a bunch of drunks, and they surely do run the bases like a bunch
John
of
Mayer and
drunks.
Arnie Lauer running around on the bases.
Oh God, yeah. Jazz Chisholm getting thrown at a second, picked off. That's embarrassing. Cannot happen. Same thing with Rizzo. Where the hell are you going, Rizzo? You ain't fast enough to steal third.
Out to nowhere. It's like, it's mind blowing, and they do this time and time again, and it's gonna eventually cost them a game. And when it does, oh God, help Aaron Boone, because he does nothing to fix this. It's been an ongoing problem for years. I can't believe how many third base coaches I've cussed out when getting thrown out at home plate. Like Gio, I remember last year they sent Stanton home on something. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? It's mind blowing. And Stanton, by the way, has done a hell of a job in the playoffs. And I'm going to say this about Stanton. Everybody kills the guy, and deservedly so. But he's been a class act throughout his entire Yankee career. And he's done a very nice job in the playoffs so far. I mean, he won the series for him in his first series. They'd be nowhere near this series without him. If it wasn't for him, Kansas City would probably be here instead of Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm one of those guys that shits on Stanton. So absolutely. Big shout out to Stanton. And another guy that people shit on and piss on and everything in between, and that'd be Gleyber Torres, by the way, who's had a very good postseason.
I have taken massive dumps on him for the past couple of years. I have to quietly step back and let him enjoy his playoff run. He's done a hell of a job. I will give Boone credit here. As much as I like to bash him, he put Torres one. He finally found a leadoff hitter. And Torres has ran with it. Now, he doesn't hit the home runs anymore. I don't know why he stopped hitting home runs. I mean, he had 30 home runs a couple of years ago, but now, what do you have, 10 this year or something like that? But he's getting on base as a leadoff hitter. He's been a table setter for Soto and Judge. And Stanton, for that matter, because Stanton's been playing well. Austin Wells batting fourth. I'm tired of seeing that, by the way. When the hell are they going to move? I want to see Molina for a game. I don't understand this infatuation with Wells and him batting fourth. If you want to split the righties up, you want to split Stanton and Judge up, put Chisholm there. I don't understand why Wells has to be there every game. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and you talk about Jazz Chisholm, too. That guy is struggling hitting the ball as well.
Well, look, I mean, I wouldn't say struggling. He's
struggling. You want to shit on Austin Wells, who's not hitting well. So is Jazz. The same thing. He can't hit.
Yeah,
by the way, while you're shitting on Wells, huge play, by the way, with the bases juice on that Clay Holmes slider in the dirt. And that was easily a tie ball game if he does not pick that ball and block that ball. And he blocked it, throwing his arm out, which he ended up dinging up his arm. If he doesn't throw his arm out, it's a tie game. And it's 3-3. So, again, while we're
He
shitting on
sacrificed
Austin
as
Wells.
well. He should. It's the playoffs, damn it.
I hear
gotta
you. Well,
sacrifice
guess
your
what?
team.
We've watched some lazy catching. We watched some
It ain't
Bo
Gary
in the
Sanchez back
same
there.
game. Same game. Bo Naylor trying to pick all these balls. Get down and block the ball, and it
Bo
cost him
Naylor
a few
stinks.
pass balls.
Bo Naylor's a bum.
Well, I'm just
So is the rest
saying.
of the Indians.
Again, trust me, I agree. I'm the same frustrated guy as you are with the Yanks, and Austin Wells struggling to hitting. Jazz Chisholm
I
is struggling
understand the
at the
struggle,
dish.
but I don't understand why Wells is batting fourth. That's what makes no sense to me. Move him down in the lineup. There's obviously too much pressure there for him. He feels he has to make contact. He's flailing at every pitch. I've never seen him this bad. I mean, yeah, he's not an all-star hitter, but he's reaching at anything and everything. He looks like you trying to hit a softball, for God's sakes.
That's a low blow that wasn't needed, but sure, yes, it does. It doesn't look pleasant there for Austin Wells at the dish. Like I said, Jazz is no innocent player either.
But he makes things happen on the bases. Wells can't even get on base.
Oh yeah, he makes things happen on the bases, Phil. You just walked yourself into another. Phil said, just like Mark Vientos is 32. Did Jazz Chisholm not just get picked off second yesterday with doing Lord knows what the hell he was doing? Okay, yeah, okay. He really turns things on in the bases. Yeah, it gets picked off and about to start a rally with no outs. Get out of here, Phil.
Yanks in 4, Dodgers in 7.
Oh God, you talk yourself into this bullshit sometimes.
Oh, if you think any less than a sweep, then you are not a Yankee fan. Go root for the Mets then if you don't feel the Yankees are going to sweep this series.
Oh God, this is the same team that also lost the game to the Royals. Sorry to tell you.
One game. But I didn't call a sweep in that series. The Royals have better pitching than the Gindians do.
The Cleveland Guardians, but yes, Phil.
The Gindians.
Right, well, I hate you. But let's move ourselves to the rink here. Let's talk a little bit of some puck. We teased it last week. Went a little long on it, but that's fine. It was a preview for the season, so that's fine that it went a little long on the puck last week. But we'll take a look at it this week. The Metro, we got the New Jersey Devils leading the way with 8 points. We got the Rangers there with 5 points. Penguins, Islanders, Flyers, and then the lonely Hurricanes and Capitals and the Blue Jackets getting on the board as well with 2 points apiece. What were your thoughts so far of the opening season here for the NHL?
The Devils have played 6 games. Calm down about you being in first place, all right? You played 2 tough teams and you lost to both of them. All right, you're getting all excited about beating Buffalo and the Utah Hockey Club that the Islanders lost to, by the way, which made me.
And so did the Rangers. So I was gonna say, while you're pooping on the Utah Hockey Club, beat your damn Islanders, waiting for that out of you. And they beat the Rangers, by the way. So they were 3-0, and they were one of the hottest teams as far as getting goals. And the Devils shut them out. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the Devils.
Rangers are
am I gloating about them? Yeah, I'm well aware they played 6 games, but they are also winning games. And again, back to back, they go from beating Utah Sunday to then they play last night in Carolina. And again, it looked like they did lose, correct, but it was a close game. They very easily could have tied the game. Jesper Bratt had a good opportunity and whiffed on it. Buck was probably one he should have put in the net and he whiffed on it.
Hey,
and again,
swung and missed like you do in softball.
Oh!
You still owe a beer, by the way.
Yeah, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What else you got on puck here, Phil?
You what?
What else you got on puck, Phil? Looks like you're lost for words. How about your Islanders?
No, I mean, the Islanders, they lost to Utah, which was a disgrace. They got shut out by Dallas. That was an abortion to watch that game. They were just never into the game. And then they won 2 nights ago in Colorado, which surprised Colorado 0-3. Edmonton, I think they won last night, but I think they started off 0-3. The West is a mess right now. Not that anybody here cares about the West, but I care about it. So we're going to talk about it for a little bit. Colorado and Edmonton, the big 1-2 punch out West, they have struggled to start the season. Now, granted, it's a long season, and I expect the Stars to do what they normally do. I like the Kings for some reason out there this year. I think they have granted, they lost to Ottawa 8-7. And that was a crazy game. Did you see that? That was on Columbus Day, 8-7 date game. No, you didn't watch it. No, of course not.
No, I was working. No, I did not.
No, you were working for once. About time. But I do like the Kings out there for some reason. Edmonton and Colorado, I think they'll snap out of their little early season funk, just like the Islanders will, and will rise to prominence and be in the Stanley Cup Finals, as I predicted in the beginning of the season. Your Devils will fall off a cliff real fast once they start playing real teams. I know there's a big October 25th game coming up against the Devils. I can't wait to beat your asses that night.
Me and you both know that will not be happening, and I'll be riding your ass for it, just like whoever this is. The only problem with having these weird names. Anvil 97. Why do I think that's Michael John?
It's that clown John Mayer.
It is. Okay. Oh, God. And he's back again. He's back in on Facebook. Only thing that gave it away was the 97. That's the only thing that gave it away that this could be my Uncle John. And yes, Phil sucks and calls Mark Vientos.
Yeah, John's a bum as well. The only guy worse at softball than you is him.
We have John here again. Long comment. Well, a little spicy there. But yeah, again, you do suck. But yeah, again, Phil had to quickly avoid talking about the Mets. So I had to give the Mets their due. Phil wanted to quickly brush off the Mets and what they were doing. So I had to shout out
about last week, by the way. And we had very nice reviews about our little hockey preview last week. The only one who was pissy about it was your crazy-ass old Uncle John. He was like, oh, we need to be talking about the Mets, not talking about hockey. It's the beginning of the hockey season. A lot of people enjoyed that hockey portion of the show. So the hell with you. If you don't like it, you can go listen to some clown on WFAN, because this is where real sports happens. Right here on this channel every Tuesday, except today's Wednesday. Thanks to Colton.
I like that shout out, Phil. Nice work, buddy.
That's right.
Nice plug. Nice job,
Indeed.
Phil. You're starting to pick up on how this stuff works.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, we did talk about the Mets early on, Uncle John. It wasn't long, but because Phil doesn't like talking about the Mets and giving the Mets their due. See, he doesn't think people care about the Mets. See, he doesn't think anyone cares about the Mets.
That bum Chad Franelich? Who cares? They're all bums. I'm not wasting my breath on bums. The hell with the Mets. They're going to be out of this series, flushed down the toilet where they belong with the rest of the crap, and that'll be the end of them. And then we can focus on two real teams in the World Series, not the garbage-ass Mets.
Yeah, again, the Mets. Again, credit where it's due with the Mets. Again, you like pissing on them. That's fine. The Mets deserve a lot of credit. What's going on
all over Mr. Mets' head.
All right, well, let's turn to the NFL here to wrap up the show. Take a recap of Week 6 in the NFL. We'll start off with Thursday Night Football, and that'd be the desperate San Francisco 49ers getting a big win in Seattle against the Seahawks, 36-24. What are your thoughts on the Niners winning a game they must have?
I was surprised more about Seattle playing so bad. I mean, they weren't in the game the entire game. I was like, is Geno Smith done? That's what the question should be. I mean, the Niners are the Niners. They still have a ton of talent no matter what. They're going to be there in the end. But I was really, really surprised how bad Seattle played. That was more of a shocker to me. Smith was terrible. It might be Howell's time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Geno's still the guy. I think they're looking long-term down the road. I don't think it's Geno's the answer. I don't think Sam Howell's the answer. So, sure, you go to Sam Howell.
They traded a few picks for him.
Okay, I don't think they're going to Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell sucks. I think Sam Howell sucks. So it's the same thing. I'm not going there. They're eventually going to have to make the big move, Seattle, and do a kind of like a surprise move and trade up big and give up a lot of assets to get a good quarterback. And I mean, this year's draft class is not the class to do it unless you love Quinn Ewers,
or Cam Ward.
Again, it's gonna be time for Seattle at some point to put the big boy pants on and make the big move and get a quarterback, because Geno Smith's only gonna get you so far. It's gonna be like the playoffs, get embarrassed. That's that. I mean, it's nothing further. He's not gonna take you to the Super Bowl. He's not gonna probably win a playoff game, and that's that. That's Geno Smith.
Fair.
And neither is Sam Howell, for that matter.
Yeah, I agree.
So, again, we'll work our way to the biggest ass beating of the weekend. And, again, I think a lot of America would enjoy it. That'd be the Detroit Lions taking their wieners out and taking a leak on the Dallas Cowboys in that awful, awful defense, 47-9. But, again, big injury there for the Lions as they lose Aiden Hutchinson with an awful leg injury, breaks his leg, surgery. is successful for him, and he will be back. Apparently, Dan Campbell said to leave the light on for the Super Bowl. So again, if the Lions make it there, the light is on for Aiden Hutchinson to possibly come back for the Super Bowl. I don't see that happening. But again, gruesome injury for him, but an ass kick beating for the Cowboys.
Their worst home loss since 1988. That's how bad of a beating that was for Dallas. As for Hutchinson, I would say he'd be out for the year as well, but I also thought Terrell Owens was out for the year. He played for the Eagles, and he made the Super Bowl and had one of the greatest games I ever saw coming off a broken leg. So I can never say never, not with today's sports advancement, the way, people miraculously heal today. I mean, it's the middle of October, 5 months from now, it's a possibility. You can't say never with something like that. Now, the question is Detroit going to make the Super Bowl? Because that's a huge, huge, huge loss. They got a big game this week against Minnesota. And you're going to tell me that they're going to, not miss Hutchinson? No, I don't think so. That's going to be a tremendous loss for them. And if they lose, they're going to be 4-3. Minnesota will be 600. They're going to be 2.5 games behind them in that division. That's a huge game this week. I don't see, I still see Minnesota's going to come back to earth. But Detroit, that's just a brutal, brutal loss for them. It probably will make them not win the division.
They'll be 4-2 with a loss, but all right.
They're 4-1. I'm sorry, my bad. I thought they were 4-2.
Shocker. The genius is wrong yet again. Go figure.
Boy, you just love to point out when I'm wrong. It's rare. I get it. It's very rare.
I'll put an egg on my face when I'm wrong, and just like the both of us, I don't know why we decided to trust the Jaguars. We'll go to London Calling next. We both got our losses this week on this pick, which was idiotic by both of us.
Terrible. And how bad is the game this week? Will anybody be watching New England versus Jacksonville at 9:30 in the morning? I mean,
tell you, I'll be getting my recovery sleep at this game at that time in the morning. But again, the Bears take care of the Jags as we both pick Jacksonville in our picks this week.
Yeah.
And egg on our face because the Jags suck. But the Bears 35-16, the best game for Caleb Williams as a pro. Your thoughts?
He had a hell of a game. 23 for 29, 226 yards, 56 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, 2 to Komet, 2 to my old receiver. What's his name on San Diego? You know who I mean. But he had a hell of a game as well. Swift, he had another great game running. Eric Ingram, he came to life. 10 catches, 103 yards. Jags are 1-5. My God, they're done already. Do you see Peterson lasting the next few weeks? Especially after the rumors of people quitting on the team.
Probably not. He is not going to last that far because...
I mean, how far has this guy fallen from winning the Super Bowl with the Philly special to now, being Urban Meyer's caddy, I guess, so to speak. I mean, how bad is that franchise? Are they cursed like the Jets? Are they that bad?
They're in trouble. The Jags are a dumpster fire. Oh, did you see they're getting a new stadium, by the way?
Jacksonville? No, I missed that.
Yeah, they're building a new stadium. So they already have no fans, but let's build a new stadium. No, it should be in London. God, that'd be the start of the franchise there. They're building it in Jacksonville.
Oh, my God. That's atrocious. I remember that debacle of a Super Bowl when they hosted a Super Bowl there. It was so cold. They had no hotel rooms for anybody. And now they're going to build them a stadium. And, of course, every time a stadium gets built, they get a Super Bowl. So that should be interesting. I wonder how Goodell's going to play that. Although he wants a game overseas as well. And that's a joke. That's another conversation for another day. Well, let's get back to the games. What game do you got next?
We'd be going to one of the highest scoring games of the week. And then the Buccaneers, again, beating the brakes off the New Orleans Saints. 51-27, Baker Mayfield and company take care of business after all the hurricane stuff going on down there in Tampa, Florida. So shout out to all the people down there. Hopefully everyone's doing all right. I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers put on a show for them with a beating of the New Orleans Saints, 51-27. Your thoughts?
Mayfield had a hell of a game, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 3 picks, though, which is that's typical Baker Mayfield, and he's got to watch that. The running game really came alive with Bucky Irving and I believe Rashid. I forget his last name. But I think that would have been Irving's job if the game wasn't a blowout at that point. You might have seen Irving run for 200 yards. Who knows? But I think Rashard White is done in Tampa Bay. That was Irving's coming out party. And, all of a sudden, they're a scary team. If Evans is all right, I know he got hurt in the first half. But Godwin, he had a monster game. Kate Otten scored a touchdown. That bum hurt me in a fantasy game. Tampa's for real. I really like them. I like them in Atlanta. That I think this is going to be a very interesting race going down. I know the team's going to win the Super Bowl. Let's not kid ourselves. But I think that's going to be a very good race for the NFC South because they need it because that division's been asked for the past few years.
It has been asked for a few years. So let's buzz through some of these games here. Chargers take care of the Broncos 23-16. Bengals take care of the Giants Monday Night Football 17-7 in a dumpster fire. Falcons take care of the Panthers 38-28. Colts take care of the Titans 20-17. Packers take care of the Cardinals 34-13. The Eagles escape a win over the awful Cleveland Browns 20-16.
Terrible game.
It was a terrible game. It was ugly. And again, Sirianni, that could be another guy canned very shortly. Again, I know it was a win, but gosh, that is turning into such a disgusting and awful relationship there with Philly. I don't understand what the hell the Eagles are doing with him. Thought he should have been fired over the summer. Would have been an easy out. Hire Mike Vrabel and you're easy peasy, probably one of the favorites in the NFC. Now I don't know what the hell Philly is. Awful game. We'll take a look at the Steelers game. Not that the score really mattered. The Raiders suck. The Steelers aren't that great. The only reason why I'm touching on this game is the Steelers are moving on, it looks like, from Justin Fields and heading onto the Russell Wilson wagon for the next few weeks. I know you text me. I know you, again, it's not official. He's taking the first team reps, it looked like today at practice from what has been posted. So, again, I know you found it mighty hilarious thinking I was going to, send you something and, you're going to get a reaction out of me. I'm not going to give you a reaction. I'm not shocked. If the Steelers are going to make the switch, this would be the time to do it, give them the next 2 weeks before the bye, see how it looks, and go from there. But I'm not surprised. But, again, that's that Steelers win, 32-13. They are now 4-2. And we'll head on to one of the more exciting.
He wasn't awful in that game.
Who, Fields?
Yeah.
He wasn't great either. Again, if he had 3 short fields and he took advantage of the points. Again, he got 3 turnovers. He had a punch out from TJ that gave him the ball inside the 20. He had a block punt that gave him the ball inside the 25. And he had an interception that put the ball inside the 10. Congratulations, he got touchdowns on him, as he should if getting the ball that close. So, again, I'm not here to piss on Fields. I don't think he's done anything wrong to lose the job. But the same token, I don't think he's done anything to hold on to the job where it's okay, I don't need to see Russ. No, I think there's an opportunity to see Russ and see what he gives you. And guess what? If it's not anything the next week, you go back to Justin Fields and you go on from that. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think they both suck, and the Steelers are going to end up with 6 wins for the year.
They're definitely not getting 6 wins. You're wrong on that. That might be your Miami Dolphins with 6 wins there, the way you talk.
By the way, if the season ends today, just to stick it to you Jet fans, the Miami Dolphins would be the 7th seed going into the playoffs. That's right. As bad as they are. And this shows how bad the NFL is right now. They're 2-3, and they would be the 7th seed going into the play. I mean, the NFL needs to fix some things. It's been a brutal season so far. But the ratings are down.
There's no way the Dolphins would be the 7th seed. Are you drunk? They're the 9th. They have the 9th best record in the AFC. They are not.
They're 2-3.
Congratulations. The Broncos are 3-3. The Colts are 3-3. The Chargers are 3-2. Where are you getting that from?
Chargers are 3-2.
Yeah. Where the heck are you getting the Dolphins as a 7th seed from?
Just because I want to.
Phil's the genius. Wrong again. Oh God, I hate embarrassing you like that, but I have to. Again, the Dolphins aren't far out from getting to it back, and I think it changes their season. Again, see what they sneak in, get hot at the end with 2. We'll see how that works out. I believe I touched on the Packers game. They beat the brakes off the Cardinals. They suck. We'll talk on this game. The game was a hot blowout.
I was very surprised with the Cardinals, but it didn't help that Harrison got a concussion right off the bat. And by the way, the NFL has a problem with these concussions. I mean, there's so many people out with concussions. Olave, Neighbors has been out too, obviously. Harrison's out with a concussion
I
now.
also think they're more serious on it now. I mean, how many times
I agree. As well, they
I think
should
they're
be.
more paying attention to it and like they're buzzing down actually in games and taking guys off. I remember they buzzed down when Justin Fields wasn't this week, it was the week before when Justin got hit. It was against Dallas. And they pulled him out for a play. Actually, it took 2 plays by the time they were done analyzing him and everything.
Well,
But
they didn't
when
do
was the
it
last
with
time? When was the
Josh
last time
Allen.
you? When was the last time you seen them like buzz that? Yeah, I know there's been a few, but how many times have we watched the game? It's like, oh, they should look at them, and they don't know
And they
anything
don't.
about it. But I saw them for the first time. And I feel like buzz down and take a player off. So I think they're looking at it a little bit more, and I think they're taking it a little bit more seriously. Is why you're seeing more of the concussions. Again, as stupid as they look and as goofy as they look, I think you're eventually going to start seeing the snow caps or the protectors, the guardian caps. That's it.
Yeah.
On players. I think you're going to start seeing them more. They don't look terrible, sure. Do we like seeing the glowing and the shine of the helmets? Sure. But again, if it somehow could lower the rate on concussions with these guardian caps, put them on.
And you want to see the good players play.
Yeah, but that's put the guardian caps on. If it could lower the risk
no
and
problem
concussions, put them on.
Yeah.
So again, a game that was a blowout, but I have to touch on it. 41-21 final. Performance from Drake May in his rookie debut. Your thoughts on that? 3 touchdowns. He had 2 picks, but again, not a bad performance for Drake May.
Yeah, he played very well. 20 for 33, 3 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, 243 yards. A brutal drop by that rookie Polk. I was watching a little bit of that game. Why, I don't know. I guess for fantasy purposes, but Polk, he's been terrible. I mean, he had 2 big drops. He got called out in the locker room after the game. I like May. I think he's going to play well there. I don't think he's going to be, the be-all, end-all. But he had a very nice first game against a very good Houston defense. Will Anderson threw him around like a rag doll. I think he had 3 sacks that game. But, it's going to be growing pains. I just couldn't believe how bad the Patriot defense was. That defense stinks. But, I mean, they played well against the Dolphins, but it's because the Dolphins are a terrible offense right now. But for letting Houston go up there and dropping 41 on them and Mixon running all over them, that was just an abysmal day for New England, which is a shame because it took away from what May did.
Yes, Drake May did have a good performance. So I had to touch on that, even though it was a blowout. And the final game I will touch on, and the final game of the weekend would be probably the best game on the docket, and that would be the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. They competed, man. They hung in there at Baltimore, even though Derrick Henry had his way with them. They hung in there and ended up being a 30-23 victory for the Ravens, but they hung in there, the Commanders. They might be the real deal here.
It was a very good game. I lost by a half a point, which made me sick. The Commanders did compete. Daniels looked like a rookie in the fourth quarter now. He started missing some open receivers down late. Granted, yeah, they had a big pass rush on them. My question to the NFL is, how are you going to stop Derrick Henry when, was it Jackson threw for 343 yards? Flowers had 9 catches for 132, all in the first half. But, I mean, you got Jackson throwing for 343 yards, and then you got Henry running for almost 100 yards. Again, he scored in every game so far this year. Scored in all 6 games. Baltimore's going to be a pain in the ass to everybody this year. That Baltimore-Kansas City championship game is really starting to look good. I know that pains. You don't want to hear that, but too bad. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, Baltimore is the real deal. I think they're going to win the division. It is what it is. But yes, you did mention we're now going to tease ourselves into Beat the Genius.
Beat the Genius. But before I do that, I just want to touch on the 2 trades that were made yesterday real quick. The Devontae Adams trade to the Jets means absolutely nothing because Aaron Rodgers stinks. He's done. I don't care what anybody says. He looked terrible in that Monday night game. As for Cooper going to Buffalo, boy, it pains me to say this, but boy, that's going to be a good trade for Buffalo. They need a number 1 wide receiver so bad. He's a great route runner, and that's what Jim Kelly. That's what Josh Allen needs. Someone who can run the routes because Shazier and the other guy, Coleman, they don't know what the hell they're doing, obviously. I think what's his name? Cooper's going to help them, win the division. They're going to probably lose to Baltimore and Kansas City in the divisional playoff because that's what their MO is. That's what they do every year. But very interesting with the trades yesterday. I think and notice Devontae Adams all of a sudden got real healthy as soon as he became a Jet. He's another fraud just like Aaron Rodgers, a fraud just like all the Jet fans. Now let's go to Beat the Genius, baby. I want to say I gave back to my fans last week. I know I didn't have the best record in the world. What was my record last week?
Disgusting 1-2.
1-2.
Yikes.
1-2. I did get
your 5-game lead has gone to 3 as I went to 2-1 on the week. Thank you, Phil.
That's all right. See, I'm a giving man. I can't go 3-0 every week. The common people like you and my fans, if I just go undefeated every week, then no one's going to play anymore. It's going to be like, oh my God, this guy's so smart, which I am. It will be a bore, and I don't want it to do that. So I gave you guys a bone. I threw you all a bone, okay? So pick up that bone, chew on it, and try to beat the genius, which ain't going to happen because I'm smarter than you. My picks this week, drum roll please. I am taking the Saints at home, 1.5 against Denver. There's no way in hell Bo Nix is going to play well in the Superdome. He hasn't played in a loud stadium yet on the road. That Superdome crowd is loud. It's a game tomorrow night. I know Shazier and I know Olave are both out, and I know it's a rookie quarterback, but I think Kamara is going to have a feast all over Denver's defense coming off a short week. So I'm taking Saints plus 1.5. Is that what you have, 1.5? Come on.
It's more than that. Actually, the spread's Denver. So you're taking Denver's -3 in this game.
Oh, it's mine. So I'm +3. I went from 1.5 to 3. All right. I did my picks yesterday. So I'm taking the Saints +3, even better. I like them on the money line for those who want to make some extra coin. Second game, I'm going to take Washington. I have them at -7.5. What do you have them at? Well, as you're looking, I'll explain why I'm taking Washington. 8. All right. I'm still going to take them at 8. I think they're angry. They're going to play beat up Carolina team. I don't know why the hell Andy Dalton's still quarterback. It'll be very soon when you see Bryce back in there quarterbacking, which will make Carolina still stink. It won't matter. All they have is Chuba Hubbard and a big pile of crapola there. So I'm taking Washington -8. And my last game, I touched on this earlier. I'm taking the Vikings. It was -2.5. I'm sure that's probably gone up as well because of Hutchinson. What do you have them at? Oh my God! Come on, you got technology in front of you.
No, my phone glitched. Like I hopped. I saw it was getting ready to go to the game. I hopped over. It's 2.
It's 2. It went down. Wow, the genius getting some buys today. I like this. So I got Vikings -2. I think they'll win by at least a field goal. There's no Hutchinson there. I think Sam Darnold's going to have all day to throw to his receivers, and I believe Hawkinson is also coming back. So I'm predicting a 3-0 week for the genius. I'm just going to shove it all right back down your throats again because I'm the genius and you're not. Now let's laugh and hear what Colton has to say for his picks.
Yeah, all right. Well, time for my picks as I'm coming off a 2-1 week. I will gladly take advantage of that and ride my hot hand. That's fine. I'm going to ride the hot hand, and I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers Monday night -2.5. Let's flat out say it. The Cardinals are going to get ran all over. J.K. Dobbins is going to have a feast, and she talked about Kamara. They're going to have a field day on them. Again, they just flat out suck Arizona. Defense is legit. It's going to cause problems for Kyler Murray. Give me the Chargers -2.5.
I love it if Harrison doesn't play.
What's that?
If Harrison doesn't play, I love it. If Harrison plays, that will worry me a little bit.
Nah, it does not worry me one bit. They're going to still get pissed on. I'm now going to go to L.A., and I'm going to take the other L.A. team. Give me the Rams -6.5. The Raiders flat out suck. They got rid of Devontae Adams for a bag of peanuts. This team stinks. I'm Why not? That's all I'm going with. The Rams, big week for the Rams. Got to win to keep any hope alive on their season. Cooper Kupp could be back in the lineup this week. Give me the Rams.
I actually like that pick as well. I have a question for you, though.
Shoot
Who do you think
away.
is going to have more home fans at that game? The Rams or the Raiders? Are the Raiders going to travel to L.A.? Because the Rams don't do well.
They usually do. They usually do travel. The only thing is the Raiders suck. But I'm gonna say the Raiders fans are gonna be there. You know what? You know what's weird though? Steelers took over Allegiant Stadium this past week.
Oh yeah, that was a home game for Pittsburgh last week. That was you knew that was coming.
So it's a battle of whose field wants to do we want here. So I'm gonna say Raiders, but like who cares? Final pick since you're leaving the. Oh, you know what? Why do I feel like I want to change that? Yeah. I'm not against it because the Raiders suck. Yeah, I'm gonna take out the Rams. Taking it out. I'm a liar. See, I like looking at spreads. See, that's fine. I'm gonna take the Eagles -3 at MetLife. The return of Saquon Barkley as he's gonna run all over the Giants.
Oh, I hate that game for the Eagles. I hate that game.
I don't. The Giants lost Andrew Thomas for the season. Their O-line's going to literally get worse. Their offense stinks. Again, Neighbors should be back this week, but if he's not, it's even worse. So, yeah, you can give me the Eagles -3. I think Saquon Barkley's going to stick it to the Giants and run all over them. So give me the Eagles -3. And the game that I do like, and I will be taking the Texans on the road +2.5. So give me the Texans. So I am taking Philly -3, Chargers -2.5, and the Texans +3.
Who's Houston playing?
Green Bay.
Whoa, wow. You're taking them on the road against your boy Jordan Love there, huh?
I am indeed. Yes, and my boy Jordan Love. Yes. I just.
Yeah, righty then.
I know Green Bay took care of business against the Cardinals. Jordan Love could get a little turnover happy. So, again, as much as I like Jordan Love, again, seems like he's getting back in again, but we'll see. We have in the comments as well, we have some picks from KW Music. So he's got Philly -3, Atlanta -3, and the Rams -6.5.
All right. Well done,
So,
KW Music.
Very similar to my picks. I'm fine with the KW. You pretty much took all my picks but Atlanta, so I'm fine with it.
Philly's the one game I don't like this week. And that's where the genius.
I usually don't like it. And I will do my due diligence on picking up this week. I will have an updated tally on picks because Ray Trimple's kind of been going along every single week with us. So I will add up his picks in.
Who's missing us? He's missing his first show. He's bringing his son to the Sixer game. They're actually meeting players and getting autographs. So well done, Keith. Very proud of you. I was going to go, but I was like, I got to take care of my fans. My fans come first. So I had to do the show.
You. So on that note, I'm muting you, Phil, and I'm wrapping up the show here. So, Phil, appreciate you as always. Appreciate the fans as always. We'll be back again next Tuesday for our show as I unmuted Phil. But again, we'll be back again next Tuesday for another show, hopefully with the Yankees, as Phil said, with a sweep of the Guardians. And we will touch
well-rested Yankee team get ready to go to the World Series.
So we'll touch on that again. Mets in action tonight, 8 o'clock. Mets Dodgers game 3. So we will talk all the baseball, all the football next week. And again, of course, some puck. And we got to start throwing some college football back in. So we'll work on that again next week.
KW Music, you missed his 3-0 last week in the Facebook comments.
See, KW, I will be, like I said, I'll be going back through all of them, getting in and going over the picks next week.
I'll still be on top because I am the genius.
You suck. So I don't love this. I don't love the Saints Monday or tomorrow night.
I do.
So, but again, I'm Colton. God, I was about to say I'm Phil. Holy God, I'm Colton.
You want to be Phil? Everybody wants to be.
I don't want to be. God, you've had a rough day today. You had a rough day today, Phil. That's fun. So again, I'm Colton. That's Phil. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Personal Foul Pod. Appreciate everyone for listening. We'll be back again next Tuesday to recap. So.
That's right.
Phil sucks. So I'm Colton. That's Phil. Appreciate everyone for listening again.